again, just getting my point across. They want to be my hero. So this is what they do. And this is why they like to label you as a victim. I just realized that listening to myself. See, when they get to label you as a victim, they get to treat you like a little boy, and they get to come in and try to pretend to be your hero. See, with them, they don't want the victim to be their own hero, because all of a sudden the victim has power. They don't want that. They either want you to be a victim, or they want you to be a bully. You can't be either or. And the reason they want me to think of myself as a victim is because they want to be the ones to come in and save me. Now, the thing about it is they labeling you as a victim, making you a victim and labeling you as a victim is a way where they take away your agency. And this comedy is good because I just realized, they're all about victimhood and they're all about agency at the same time. Now, there's two things they do. They label you as a victim to take away your agency, and then they claim that I took away your agency, that I'm the bad guy, and I'm something you should be scared of. And like, oh, look, he's angry. He's an angry white man, that man over there. But Bolshevik, if you were beginning to listen to my argument, which you just don't, you don't. It's too much for you. I could say one thing to these people, and then they want to believe that there they go, messing up my English. I could say one thing to these people, and they want to believe it's that one thing. It's like a car wreck, and they'd be like, oh, it's this thing right here, and the whole car is completely totaled. And they don't want to see a totaled car. They want to see a mark on the car and say, that must be what you're angry about. Not the fact that the car just got hit by a flatbed truck or something. But that's the other idea. They don't want me to say that. They don't want me to talk about the way in which they make you a victim so they can take away your agency. Because to be honest, the whole idea about the whole mentality behind victimhood might be disabling your agency in the first place. But there's the whole idea that you could admit to being a victim, but also be a champ at the same time. But it doesn't mean you have to get to act like a victim or be a little whiny crybaby about it. It's not even a whiny crybaby. It's just, the hardship you get past is much easier to deal with than the hardship you're going through. But your behavioral psychologist and all these people, it's like, I got mayhemmed. Like, are you okay, Colin? Like, no, my nose is messed up and I can't breathe very well. Well, I'll give you some pills to deal with that. And like, the pills don't deal with it. I need an actual doctor to come in here and fix a bunch of stuff that the last doctor messed up upon. And honestly, you're not going to fix it. I wanted them to push my nose bone back into place. And what they did is they flipped my nose up, tore out my cartilage in my nose bone, and then put cadaver rib cartilage in my face. It's irreparable. Be like, is it okay? No, it's not. But it's going to be okay. Like, no, it's not. It's destroyed. I know we like to tell ourselves that it's okay. But, once you start telling yourself okay, and once you get to the point where it's not okay, where it's okay, once you get to the point where, and again, they don't want me to say this because they rely on the okay. Tell them it's okay, even though it's not okay. It's okay, even though there's that mayhem and carnage going on over there, and it's like right in front of your face. They're like, no, it's actually not okay. If you're strong enough, it's okay that it's not okay. And they don't want you to get to that point because it's not okay, to be honest. It's going to be okay? No, it's not okay already. It's not going to be okay, and it's not okay. And that's where I like to be, and I'm strong enough to do that. Now, there's times when I'm not strong enough to do that. I have to lie to myself and say it's okay, even when it's not okay. And I'm sorry, but like, you want to get to the point where you are strong enough to say it's okay that it's not okay. By it's not okay that it's not okay. Really, honestly, you need to get to the point where it's not okay. Because it's not okay. I don't give a fuck what you say. You're in denial. But the problem is when you say it's not okay, it puts you on the spot. At least some people, it puts me on the spot. Because if it's not okay, if I have to admit that it's not okay, I should do something about it. You know what I mean? And they do like to make you a victim. I don't like to use the word victim. I like to use the word you did something wrong to me. You wronged me. I actually like the legal term you made me less than whole. Right? That's way better than being a victim. Because a victim could be just about anything. honestly, they use victim as a legal term, and I don't know how legal it is. I need to look up the definition of victim in common law and decide whether or not it should stay as a word we use in legal framework. And see that, okay, how he's agreeing with me? That's somebody else agreeing with me. And I hate the fact that they come into my body and they speak through my body. And whoever's possessing me, they cannot deal with my emotions or my pain because they freak the fuck out all the time. And I know you don't believe in possession, you don't believe any of that stuff, but you got to watch my other videos. You know, the more you watch my other videos, the more you're going to be convinced that somebody is doing something on the other side of this. And I already know who I am. I know I'm a threat to these people. And I don't know. It started off with the idea that they could control me with whatever it is they're using, whatever mind control device they're using. And now it's just, they have a hard on for me that you wouldn't believe. But I mean, anybody that knows me, I mean, I don't know. I've avoided this since like, I don't know, junior high. Like I've been out of this since McClellan High School. And I remember these people. And they act just like them. They act like the flippin' substitute chemistry teacher. Not even. They act like the substitute administrator. They act like the vice principal. And it's a bunch of people that dick down authority. And they want to smile. And they want to save face. And they want me to be okay with them. And I'm not. They can't stand to have me as an enemy of theirs. And so they will either force me to be their slave or they'll destroy me. They're actively doing both at the same time. My point was victimization. They don't want me to talk about being a victim. They don't want me to talk about victimization or the idea behind victim because they rely, and they don't want me to say that either. I was going to talk about, see, they don't want me to talk about they don't want me to talk about it. And they're making me sound stupid while I'm talking about it. Okay, well, I'll get there, but it's going to sound jumbled because it's something they really don't want me to talk about, and they're actively trying to prevent me from saying it. When you say you're a victim, you become vulnerable. Now, when you admit to being a victim, a lot of people around you, especially that liberal, he doesn't know what he's doing because the liberal is in denial of his own inner instincts. The liberal thinks he's the most virtuous thing on the face of the planet. They constantly virtue signal, and they have no virtue. What they do is generic, like virtue signaling, motivational nonsense, which sounds really good, but actually doesn't make any sense. It's like those Christian motivationals that they paste out there, which you read them, but if you begin to think about them, they don't make any sense. They're not scientific. What they do is they're happy, fluffy stuff that sounds good, but I believe is actually satanic. But whatever. This is the stuff that is most prevalent. Anyways, I want to talk about being a victim. Anyways, you become vulnerable when you admit to being a victim, especially those liberals, because they see you and they want to control you and they want to use your victimization and they want to stir up righteous vehemence and fury in their favor against a certain demographic and a certain political party. Now, most of those people just, I mean, if you grew up being a liberal surrounded by liberals, you're very you-centric. You know, like, and especially if you're a coward, because the more coward you are, the more inside your own little group you go in. You don't sit there on the periphery. Anyways, again, they don't want me to say it because I must be going after her specifically. I must be describing whoever's in charge specifically. Because I can't even explain the idea. They won't even let me criticize those type of people. They're protecting those type of people. It's like the white woman that sits there and virtue signals that no, she is condemned. Like, they're arguing with me right now. She is condemned. And I'm going to tell you why she is condemned. She was so sure of herself. I can't even get to the words. They won't even let me criticize that type of person. I know what type of person it is. It's a white, liberal woman that is actively doing mind control against me that will not let me criticize her. Or at least that type of demographic. But I'm going to make the attempt anyways. I'm trying to make the attempt. I'm trying to go into it. And they're just not letting me say what I want to say. They're actively keeping me from speaking. This goes against the Constitution. They don't care about it. Apparently, they don't care about the Constitution. I don't think they're based in the United States. And if they're not based in the United States, they should be treated as a foreign entity. I mean, that would be number one. I mean, if they're not citizens of the United States, they don't get granted the same privileges we do. We could treat them as a foreign entity and a terrorist organization and go after them like they're terrorists. Mind control us. We're going to come after you like you're a terrorist. We're going to send they don't want me to say a missile through their chimney. We're going to come after you like you're a terrorist, and we're going to send a missile through your chimney. We're going to destroy you. We're going to blow up your weddings. We're going to blow up your family reunions. We're going to destroy you like we do to Osama bin Laden or to Al-Qaeda or to ISIS or to anything else, because that's what you are. Anyways, I was talking about this liberal woman. Now, she doesn't, if you think about the liberal woman, like she's existed hearing that we're bad guys the entire time. She doesn't have conversations with us. She's never met us. She listens to what her parents have been saying about us her whole life, and she hasn't challenged them. Like any normal adult should challenge what their parents have told them, she has not. And honestly, because it's a you-centric thing. As long as it's you-centric, as long as it uplifts her and upholds her, you know, and treats her as if she is righteous and equitable, or makes her look righteous and equitable, she's for it. Anything that doesn't condone her and her virtue, whether it's the truth or not, gets discarded. In her mind, she thinks she is righteous. She is so ingrained. Like, it takes no amount of time to brainwash somebody and make them think that those people over there on the other side of the train tracks are bad people. Now, if you think about this liberal, this rich Jew, she will never stop being a bigot towards us. She has been taught to be a bigot towards my demographic, skinny, white, heterosexual men that are poor, that are not liberals. She has been taught to hate us her whole life. She's never going to stop being a bigot towards me. It just isn't going to happen. She's going to look at me and she's going to hate me. She's going to look at me and she's going to see something different in me than she sees in another black man, than she sees in anybody else, because I have white skin. Then she sees it. She's going to see something different in me than she sees in a black man. It could be the same thing in us. It could be courage. She hates courage inside me. In fact, this liberal wants to put inequity inside me because she only likes white men to exist in inequity, to exist in bitch mode to her party and her dogma and her agenda. And the word I wanted to say completely went away. It was right there. It was the first word I wanted to say, disappeared from my mind, and I had to say a bunch of other words to make up for it. I can't say exactly what I want to say because there's a word in English that is exact. And I can't be exact with these people because they want me to be vague with you so they can pretend that they're not guilty. And it just infuriates me that these people do this. And they want to feel sorry for me, but I do not want sympathy from my perpetrator. I do not want sympathy from my victimizer. My victimizer wants to give me sympathy, but my victimizer doesn't understand that she needs to go to prison, and that would be just. It would be just to get her head chopped off. She needs to be tried, she needs to be convicted, and she needs to be executed. Her and her whole entire constituency. That would be just. I don't want her to feel sorry for me. I want her executed, and that's the way. That's another thing. Your victimizer often likes to feel sorry for you. And that's the other thing. They're bullying me, right? They're bullying me. They have bullied me and harmed me worse than anybody has ever bullied me and harmed me. And I want them punished more than anybody. But when somebody comes in and I don't know, flicks a pebble at me, they want to be, oh, you're a victim of that person that threw a pebble at you. I'm going to come and save you, Colin. I'm like, you have done more harm to me than anybody else. And I do not need protection from the pebble. I need protection from your mayhem, and I need justice from your mayhem. I need to be made whole, and you are the person that has made me less than whole, and more than anybody. And they want me to charge $1 million to somebody for flicking a pebble at me, but they don't want to give me $1 billion for destroying my face, for destroying my culture, for literally trying to genocide my people and trying to silence me. And the way in which they have silenced me is complete and utter fucking manipulation and torture. It is brainwashing. It is basically trying to get you. If you ever seen Star Trek, there's this episode with, I want to say Irenicus, but it's the voice of Irenicus from Baldur's Gate 2. And I call it the Four Lights episode. It's one of my favorite episodes. Now, yeah, and this is, I said even though there was no there. There was no doubt in what I wanted to say. I was going to segue right into it. They do not like me to sound confident. They want me to sound less than confident. They want to take the confidence out of me and make me a little bitch boy. And then they could pump my confidence up. And they're like, I'm going to give you your self-confidence. I'm like, confidence that is given by somebody else is not self-confidence. You want my confidence to be divvied out and garnered by you and your establishment. You don't want me to have self-confidence because you want to control me. You guys are appalling and disgusting. And they're possessing me. That one was a possession. Somebody possessed me and said that through my body. Anyways, I was talking about the Four Lights episode. In the episode, right? Jean-Luc Picard gets captured by the Cardassians. And he's sitting across the way from Irenicus. And I gotta take my cat out to go pee. And the entire time, he's trying to tell, he has electrical... Can I speak now? The entire time, the Cardassian is trying to get Jean-Luc Picard to say there are 4 lights instead of 3. They don't like my tone. I get it. You don't like my tone. They have to change something about me in order to save face. I don't get it. They have to change something about me and pretend they've actually done something for me. To pat themselves on the back and say, this is what we had to do. We had to do this fucking thing. We had to do years of mayhem and torture to get him to sound like this. We had to do years of mayhem and torture for him to fucking take his shoe and put it 2 inches to the left. No, you didn't. Fucking cowards. Anyways, in the episode, Jean-Luc Picard is connected to a bunch of electrodes that shock him and put him in a state of... and shock him and torture him. Irenicus is trying to get him to say there are 4 lights when there are only 3. The entire episode, Jean-Luc Picard sits there and gets tortured, and Irenicus is like... He's not Irenicus, but it's the guy who voices Irenicus from Baldur's Gate 2. It's that episode. Anyways, he tortures Jean-Luc Picard he tries to torture Jean-Luc Picard into saying there are more than 3 lights, into saying there are 4 lights. I really hate the fact that you guys are affecting my English. I really hate the fact that you guys are getting in the way of me trying to tell a story. You don't want me to tell the story because it makes you fucking look bad. Now, anytime I want to say something that doesn't condemn you, that doesn't put who you are in perspective, you're perfectly okay with it. But as soon as I want to talk, what? I can't even say the word criticism. As soon as I want to say criticism towards you, are you stopped? I had more words that were about to come out. Why are you doing this? Okay, Catholic Church. Are you the Catholic Church? Catholic Church. I fucking swear to God, I'll butcher every Catholic on the face of the fucking planet. You will stop doing this. Are you possessing me? Do you want to say something that you want to possess my body and say you're going to stop doing this? Go ahead and just stop. And let me tell a fucking story. Anyways, what is it? In the episode, they got Jean-Luc Picard hooked up to a bunch of fucking electrodes. And every time he says there are 3 lights, they shock the man and tell him that there are actually 4. And you need to say there are 4 lights, not 3. And Jean-Luc Picard knows that if they get him to say there are 4 lights, they could get him to say fucking anything. They'll get him to write his confession. They'll get him to lie. They'll get him to say that there's all this crap when there isn't. And so Jean-Luc Picard refuses to. Because he knows as soon as he breaks, they're going to get him to do the rest of the stuff. They're going to get him to confess to things that aren't true. And that is what this party is doing. That is what this liberal is doing. That is whatever is on the other side of my brain manipulating my stuff around is doing to us. And they need to be put to the sword. Okay? That needs to be put to the sword. Something that does that it needs to be treated as if it is a terrorist organization. It needs to be treated as a hostile entity. It needs to be treated as something that is committing attacks against the citizens of the United States of America and needs to be slaughtered.